Welcome to our second week of the 12-week action plan with the 2020 WebCenter Half Marathon. This week, we are going to talk about qualified appointments. Certainly, you can book appointments, schedule appointments, but it's better to make sure that you've got a qualified appointment. And a qualified appointment is that is going to have an increased chance of success, an increased chance of closing because you've got all the pieces put together. All the ingredients are in place for success. So we're going to talk all about appointment setting today and what that qualification process is and some tips and tricks on that. Last week, we discussed strategic planning. So you should have had a goal and a goal statement, an action plan, so you know what your targets are, you know how to get there, a weekly and daily action plan. But then we also talked about the most important foundation is your list of candidates. So coming from that, now we're going to take that candidate list and turn it into momentum in growing your business. So our qualified appointments are all going to start with the research phase, right? Doing some prospect or candidate research. And why do we do that? We do that because if you know a little bit about them in advance, it makes it easier to have a conversation. You can do some assumptive question asking. You can actually uncover more when you bring up these points. So it really leads to a much better consultation appointment if you've done some research upfront. It also motivates you to make the call. So if you've done some research and there's a candidate on your list that has a phenomenal website, they've got a beautiful design, it's responsive, you do a search and they show up on #1 on Google, you do all of their products and services in their geography and they still show up, they've got amazing reviews, they have incredible social media presence, they've got all the forms to take emails out, they're doing email marketing. Well, it might just be a time to follow up with that person or that candidate because it looks like they might be all set. Certainly you can contact them and congratulate them on the things that they're doing well and see if there's any room for improvement. Or maybe if they are looking at saving costs or maybe they're not happy with their current vendor, that's fine. But it's more of an uphill battle there because they've got a really good foundation. So through that research phase, you're going to identify things that motivate you to contact them. Maybe they got an outdated website, maybe the design, maybe it's not responsive, maybe the copyright date is 2015, maybe it doesn't come up with a website, or maybe they don't show up on search. So those are things that are going to motivate you to contact them because we have a solution for them, right? So you're going to do all of this research prior to contacting your prospect. You're going to write down a couple things that you notice and use that information to ask great questions. But then we're going to turn that into an appointment, a discovery meeting, a consultation, a 15-minute appointment with that candidate, which is going to allow you to uncover more information from them. Dig for hot buttons, pain points, things that are going to be a challenge for that candidate to see if there's a way that we can provide a solution. And the solution, of course, is an appointment or a demo with our product specialist. So in the 15-minute consultation, why do you want to do it? Well, it further qualifies the appointment. It confirms all the decision makers. We'll talk about that. You do it prior to an actual website demo or DMP demo. It's also great if someone's not really ready to commit to a full appointment or a demo. You can then back them into a 15-minute conversation. We have the download assessment sheets for you to use. And you can use it to solidify or confirm an appointment and enter that information into the sales calendar, the sales wizard. So we'll talk a little bit more about that as we move forward. So you've got your candidate list. You've got 20, 30, 60, 100 candidates written on a list. Now it's time to do your current research. So what are some things that you should look for? Well, it should take 1 to 2 minutes. I know the first couple times that you go through it, it might take 3 to 5 minutes. So it's going to be an investment of your time. However, do not get caught in the trap of doing extensive research. And what do I mean by that? You should not be investing or spending, I should say spending at this time. You should not be spending 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, hours doing research. We don't know if they're a candidate for you. We don't know if they're going to book an appointment. We don't know if you're going to get stuck with the gatekeeper or voicemail and you've wasted that time. Now, you can do more extensive research once you've spoken to the business owner or someone in the business, you've set up a 10 to 15 minute consultation, they have agreed to an appointment, then you can go back and invest some time doing further research. But initially, you're just looking at maybe, like I said, 2 to 3 minutes in this first couple weeks of doing this. But once you get in the groove and you understand what you're looking for, it will take 1 or 2 minutes, right? 1 to 2 minutes, you're going to do that for your candidates, right? So what are the things that you should be looking for? The first thing is you want to Google them. Google their business name and see if they show up. Now, if you do a Google search with a business name and they do not appear on page one, that is a problem that needs to be solved, right? You're using their business name and they're not appearing. You should look for, are they showing up with any social media sites? Are their competitors showing up? Are they showing up on any directory or listing sites? But if they don't have their own domain.com, right, their business.com showing up on that first page of Google, that's something to jot down. Now, if they show up in any of these other areas like review sites, directory sites, social media sites, you're trying to find a website. You're trying to find and locate if they've got a website so that you can review the website. And everyone asks, what are you looking for? Well, you're a consumer. What are you looking for as a consumer when you look at a website? Is it visually appealing? Is it mobile responsive? Check it on your phone. Check it on the desktop, right? See if it's a good view. You want to see if the information on that is current. Is there a copyright date at the bottom? When's the last time it seems like it might be edited, right? So that information, you want to just do a quick glance. What are the pages that they've got? Maybe just do a quick click through, find out if there's any broken links, broken images, 404 site error, site not found errors, web page under construction, any of that, right? That is good information to jot down. Now, go back to Google, and what you want to do is then you want to Google their main product or service and the geography. Roofing contractors, Springfield, Massachusetts. Italian restaurants, Boston, Massachusetts. Seafood restaurant, Kennebunkport, Maine. Landscape contractor, Las Vegas, Nevada. Whatever it is, you want to use the main metro area and their primary product or service. Because when people search for a business that they don't know, they don't write in the name because they don't know about it. They're looking for that product or service in their local market. Now, the importance of having the geography listed is Google automatically will serve up local results based on the IP address of the person that's searching, which means that wherever you are logged into the internet, when you do a search, it's going to serve up those local results. But for your candidates on your list, might be outside of your radius or your geography. So if you put their geo modifier, like a city, a town, an area, then they're more likely to show up for that search. So that's important, right? You want to check out if they have social media. Are they on Facebook? Are they on Instagram? Right? See when the last time they posted was. If the last time they posted something was 3 months ago, and before that was 6 months before that, well, they might need some help with social media. Last thing that you're looking for is where their competition is showing up. Do they have competitors that are showing up above them in search? Now, again, first couple times you do this, it's going to take a couple minutes, but once you get into the habit of doing this, you can do this research very quickly and effectively, only to find the things that you can use as conversation starters to schedule a 10 to 15 minute consultation. Once you have someone's agreement, then you can go back and do more extensive research. So right in your action plan, you'll see under week 2, prospect research. Research your product prospects by checking search engines, yellow pages, local newspapers, TV commercials, vehicle ads, social media. Record your findings, and that makes a good candidate for a qualified appointment, right? Do they have a website? Is it up to date? Is it mobile friendly? Right? So that's right in your 12-week action plan. So your goal is this week to start going through your candidates and doing some research. Now, what's next? Next is now you're motivated because you have some information in your back pocket that's going to help you start that conversation to contact them, right? Whether that's in person, whether that's on the phone, whether that's in a text message, a Facebook message, depends on how you know that person, right? So you need to decide how you will contact them. The best form of communication is their preferred method, right? What is the way to reach them in the best time? If you're contacting a restaurant, probably during the lunch hour or dinner hour is not the best time, right? You want to try and find them maybe earlier in the day, maybe in the afternoon slump before the dinner rush, or find out when they might be closed because the business owner is probably still there doing some prep. That might be a good time for them to do admin or to take phone calls, right? So you need to do a little bit of that digging. When you contact a business, you might ask the person who answers, hey, when is the best time to reach a manager, right? Are you the manager? Are you the person responsible for marketing decisions? Who would I speak to about your marketing? Who would I speak to with regards to your online presence? They give you a name. Great. When is the best time to reach that person and how? How is the best time to reach them? Right. So you can do a little bit of fact finding up front because you might have that warm lead, that warm contact, but they're not the decision maker. But you want to leverage that person to be able to feed you that information. Hey, Joe, I know that you work at XYZ restaurant. Who would be the person that I would talk to about your marketing? And then how would it best to be to contact them? I'd like to learn more about what's working well, maybe offer some suggestions and potential solutions. Would you be able to give me an introduction? Because if you have an introduction to that contact, a warm referral, that is going to be ideal for you. Okay, so the purpose and goal of this contact is to just start a conversation. You're looking to identify if there's a need, right? Is there an interest? Could you potentially help them with that need, right? So you've done a little bit of that research. You might have an interest creating remark, a discussion topic that you can bring up on an initial call just to see if you can schedule 10 to 15 minutes to do a consultation, right? Let them know that you'll do additional research and share your findings with them. I did a little bit of research. I've got some information I'd like to share with you that may help you. I'll go ahead and do some more research, but all I'm looking for is 10 to 15 minutes to learn more about your business to see if there's a way that might be able to help you out, right? That is a great way to contact them. You give them a reason to want to show up to that meeting. Once you've scheduled that appointment, right? Now, what does that appointment look like? It's a consultation, right? You're simply going to follow our assessment sheets, right? Whether the website design and maintenance, the digital and social media marketing, or the business spending assessment. So when you get to that appointment, face-to-face, on the phone, in person, video chat, whatever it might be, the most important thing that you need to do, a lot of people rush into the meeting, they rush into the business side of things, but the most important thing you need to do is build the relationship, right? Build that rapport. So don't pitch your business. We don't sell anything in this meeting. You're simply asking questions to get the conversation started about them. And what's everyone's favorite topic? Themselves. And businesses, their next favorite topic is their business, right? So people will be attracted when you show that you actually care genuinely and that you're excited about learning more about them and that you're interested in their business. People buy you. And of all the things that we look at on our successful WebCenter owners to our brand new WebCenter owners that might have a little bit of a challenge, this is the missing link right here, is building rapport, building the relationship, to have their walls come down a little bit where they're willing to share some information with you. They need to be vulnerable. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. So that's your goal. Your entire goal, your objective is to get them to know you, like you, and trust you. And that's why we suggest starting with a warm market, a referral type of market, because it's going to be easier because there's already an underlying relationship there. Are you presentable? Are you friendly? Are you nice? Are you interested? Right? Yeah, you can be professional, but you still want to be excited. You need to be charismatic, but not something that doesn't fit your personality, right? You need to be you. Show up as the best you that you can be, right? You're looking to uncover, do you have anything in common? Do they have children, right? They might have pictures on the wall, right? Have they won any awards? They might have some awards on their website or at their location, right? They might be, have a brilliant smile and say, wow, you seem like you are having a great day, right? Where do you live? Are you your local area or do you live far away? Do you travel in, right? Are you here every day? What else do you do, right? Do you happen to know such and such? Or I was referred by so and so. You're trying to build that common ground because ultimately what they are thinking in the back of their mind is, why are you there? Why are you here? How can you help me? And what is it that you do, right? So they're trying to size you up because they think that you're a salesperson, that you're going to try and sell them something. And your job is to break down that stigma. Now, in this conversation, you also want to uncover, who else can you speak with? Who else helps make some of the decisions for the business? Who else do they respect and trust when it comes to their marketing? Is there a marketing manager? Is there an office manager? Is there someone that has a background in social media? Is it a spouse? Is it a child, right? So there's all of these different things that you need to uncover in this meeting. But the most important thing you need to do is be genuinely interested in them, right? You gain tremendous trust when you listen to them. The more that you get them talking and the more opportunities you give yourself to identify more needs. Again, this is not a chance for you to sell any solutions. It's simply to uncover more opportunities of problems that you can solve. So how do we ask the questions? Well, we have the questions. We use the 15-minute consultation sheets, the assessment sheets. You can download them from unfranchised.com under support materials. It's also on the WebCenter landing page, and it's also on www.mawc411.com. You can't miss them. We've got them everywhere. You simply have this form that gives you easy to ask questions, a checklist where you can make some notes. Now, these consultation sheets will lead to higher quality appointments. This is going to qualify the appointment for you and help build the relationship, right? So you've got 3 different assessments right now, but you're going to know this based on your current research and when you set the appointment, what is going to make the most sense. Now, I wouldn't just walk in with one of these. I would have both the website design and the digital and social media marketing assessments with you. If you have the opportunity to ask questions from both, great. You might not have that much time because, again, this has to be more of a question and answer period, building that conversation, not an interrogation, right? You're not going to, just rattle down through the list and ask them and jot that. You're going to make it more conversational. Tell me more about that. Can you clarify, right? How so? Wouldn't you agree that that would be something that you need to take care of, right? If you're not happy with it. Yes. Okay. So you're trying to get them to agree that they've got some potential problems throughout this process. Now, in some cases, you've got someone who's really motivated. You might be able to book an website demonstration or a DMP appointment right from your initial contact. So you can still use these sheets as your confirmation. Hey, John, I know that we've got an appointment tomorrow at 10 a.m. with our website specialist. We're so excited. I was able to get one of our top specialists going to answer all of your questions. However, they want to make sure that they have some information from you to make sure that it's not a waste of your time. And they highlight some things that will be more specific to your business. Do you have 5 minutes, 10 minutes where I can ask you some of these questions? Ask their permission. That is the best way to confirm an appointment. Even if you book a demonstration appointment after having a 15-minute consultation, you should still confirm that appointment the day before, but not, are we still on for 10? You're giving them an out to say no. You want them excited about the appointment, what they're going to learn, and that it's for them, and that it's not going to be a waste of their time by adding more value. So you can always say the same thing I just said, right? We're so excited to have our appointment tomorrow at 2 p.m. I know that we're really looking forward to showcase our search engine optimization to get you ranking better in the searches, but also to target that website, some of the issues that we talked about in our meeting earlier this week. However, in order to make sure that it's the most effective use of our time, our specialists wanted me to ask you a couple more questions. Would you have 5 or 10 minutes for me to ask? They're going to appreciate that you're going the next step to make sure that it's really personalized. And that's the best way to use these consultation sheets to further qualify the appointment. And again, there's one for digital and social media as well. So some tips when you're at the appointment, whether it's face-to-face or on the phone or over a Zoom call, write down all the responses. You might think that you'll remember everything, but you want to make sure that you take good notes. Right? Take good notes, mark it up. It's giving you a chance to go ahead and do more research on anything they might bring up, but do not discuss solutions. That's not your opportunity, right? We're not going to get into selling mode here. Listen lots, right? Again, use it as an opportunity to identify all decision makers. Who in your company would manage your website? Who makes the updates? If you have a problem with your website, who takes care of it? Who does your posting on your social media? Are these people that you would prefer to have in this conversation as well, right? You want to identify other decision makers, but not only decision makers, but also influencers. Who's going to influence the buying decision, right? And from here, you get them excited to discover the solutions with the product specialist. And you do that by saying, look, based on the research that I've done and after our conversation, I think we're able to help you out. Obviously, there's no guarantees, but what I'd like to do is schedule an appointment with our website specialists where they can answer all of your questions as well as address any of these needs and propose some solutions for you to consider. How soon can we schedule that for you? Right? So you're using this as a closing tactic to get them in front of the product specialists. So how do we confirm appointments? We just talked about that, but also we want to make sure that we do a couple things, right? And you'll notice this in the sales appointment wizard is you want to make sure that you've got the time and date of the appointment correct. You want to make sure that you've got the decision makers present as well as any influencers that they would like to have on that call with you. Exchange the best contact phone numbers. You might have contacted them on their business landline, but it's going to be during busy hours and they would prefer you to use their cell phone, or maybe there's a different extension, right? Maybe you're calling a home phone, whatever it is. You don't want to just make the assumption that you're using the phone that you've already communicated with them. Is this going to be the best line for our conversation, right? Confirm that. Confirm that your prospect will be able to be on the computer with an up-to-date browser while on the phone or a tablet, right? That's going to be important, right? We want to show them, we want to demonstrate. And as we tell them, look, we want to demonstrate some capabilities and some things that can help your business. So it's very visual. Are you able to be on a computer or a tablet while we're on the phone, right? Encourage your client or potential client to write down questions they might have to product specialist. Hey, between now and then, you probably have some questions, right? Why don't you jot those down? We'll make sure that we address them during a call with the product specialist. Now, this is where you also get to offload any questions or objections that come to you because you're not the product specialist, right? So if they come back and say, well, how much is it going to cost? That's a great question. We really don't know what your needs are until we talk to the product specialist, but I can tell you that they will propose a price for you and we'll make it within your budget. That's a great question to then ask their budget, right? How much money have you set aside for your digital marketing? Or what kind of return on your investment would you be looking for? Right? So during this confirmation process, this is where you can further qualify the appointment. And those WebCenter owners that can do a great job with qualifying their appointments will lead to a higher success rate, right? Now, it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to be about practice and you learn by experience. You'll learn from one appointment to the next appointment, from one candidate to the next candidate, to one client to the next client, through your product specialist demos. You're going to learn the process, but you learn by doing. So don't get stuck with the idea that you need to earn your PhD in web solutions before you can ever make the contact. No, you learn best by doing. So the importance is to just follow the process, the proven system, follow the 12-week action plan, and you will get there and you will see some success. And I'll tell you right now that scheduling appointments with our product specialist is the highest and best use of your time because they currently have a 30% close ratio. What does that mean? That means 1 out of every 3 calls or 3 appointments is resulting in a sale. Now, that doesn't mean that those appointments don't close down the road in the follow-up process because it might be timing. But I'll tell you that 1 out of 3 of those appointments using our last numbers over the past 8 weeks, right? Last 2 months, 30% close ratio, which is incredible. So in your 12-week action plan, again, a review on qualified appointments. For more qualified appointments, go through the following checklist, right? Here it is. Looking for the business owner, the decision makers, any partners, marketing, staff, people with input or influence. Do they advertise anywhere else, right? That's going to help you know their budget. If you see that they've got a radio ad, multiple Facebook ads, they're doing Google ads, they've got signage and lettered vehicles everywhere, they're in the local newspaper, they've got a marketing budget, right? Do they have a current website or an online presence? We already talked about that. How about interest? Is there a need that we can fill at hot buttons? Is it a good potential fit? Don't try and make this solution work for people that if it's not going to fit. If they are looking for something that we can't provide, don't promise that we can or waste their time or your time. Continue to nurture the relationship and maybe uncover other things that might be of added value. Timing, are they motivated to go now? Are they in the research stage? Do they have a tight time schedule? Is the appointment time frame good? Right? And of course, confirm attendance with all the decision makers, the time, the date, and have your questions down in advance, right? Remind them to do that, okay? And when you gather all this information, how do you bring it to sales support? Well, you schedule your sales appointment through the sales appointment wizard on your WebCenter. Through that process, it's a checklist of items. You're entering information, their name, the phone numbers, email addresses, and then on the last screen, there's an area for you to input some comments. Now, this is how we can make sure that we arm our product specialists with the most useful information. They don't know your client or candidate. They don't know the market. They don't know the competition. They haven't done the research. Their job is to gather the information from you, the WebCenter owner, and do an overview of how we might be able to help them with our services at MA Web Centers. So you want to write information in that comment box, but you don't want to write long paragraph form. You don't want to have a long dissertation. Quick bullet points, a little hash mark, a little dash, something like interested in email marketing, interested in being able to update their website themselves, actually interested in having someone else manage the website for them, doesn't have a lot of time, no technical knowledge, is concerned about software. Whatever you have found out in your research and in your consultation appointment, you jot down as quick little bullet points. And you can review that with the sales specialist when they contact you before the appointment. But the idea is that there's also a button that says add files where you can upload that consultation sheet. So you can take a picture of it or you can scan it as a PDF and upload it to that appointment record so that they can read what you've written on your consultation sheets. So if you are writing in a rush and it's messy, you might want to rewrite it before you upload it, right? You might want to rewrite it before you upload it to the product specialist. So those are ways to have the most qualified appointments and to increase your chances for success. Now, again, everything comes down to attitude, activity, and skill. So make sure that you're doing the weekly exercises. Are you contacting prospects for the business? Are you contacting candidates for websites and web solutions, digital marketing services? Are you conducting consultation appointments? Are you showing the plan? Do you have part 1, part 2 follow-ups booked, right? Tracking that information is critical because you wrote a goal last week and you need to go through the numbers to achieve that goal. And then you can fine tune that action plan based on your results and your data. If you find that it takes for every 10 prospects that you show the unfranchised business to, you then sponsor 1 through the trial run process, then your number's 1 out of 10. However, if you're at the point where it's 1 out of every 3, that's a different game. Same thing with web solutions. If you know that you can schedule 1 out of every 2 calls to a candidate to schedule the consultation, that's different than the average 1 out of every 4. So you start with your action plan and then you can measure, monitor, adjust, and control and fine tune that action plan to make sure that you are doing the necessary activity to reach your goals. So make sure you're leveraging the 12-week action plan. All of the tools for success are there. So this week's weekly assignments, right? It seems heavy, but it's simply doing your research, right? Current research for 10 candidates, right? Invest let's just call it 5 minutes this week. So that's 50 minutes. That's less than an hour you're going to invest in doing research on your candidates. From there, you're also going to contact those 10 candidates. Do 2 per day. It's going to take maybe 2 to 3 minutes to contact them and schedule that consultation. Now, is it awful if it takes 15 minutes? No, that'll be 30 minutes of your day, right? This is a business and you want to invest that time to reach your goal. From here, you're hoping to schedule 2 consultations. We're going to do 20%, so 2 out of 10. You do 10 contacts, you're looking to schedule 2 consultations this week, and that you can do more research and then use the assessment sheets. Now, we need to continue this habit of adding candidates to your list. So you want to have a goal or an objective of adding 2 new candidates to your list each and every day. Where are those candidates going to come from? Well, your memory jogger, your names list, referrals from your unfranchised business partners, maybe business cards that you've stumbled upon in the local area. Maybe there's a Chamber of Commerce event, maybe a networking event. Maybe you were out doing takeout and you bumped into someone that was wearing a sweatshirt that was lettered that they've got a custom exhaust company. Maybe you were in town and you saw that there's a tow company. Maybe there's a landscape company doing fall cleanup. right? We've got leads all around us. In fact, some of them get mailed to us. Maybe you get a Val pack that has coupons that have been mailed to your house. Well, there's at least 10 to 20 businesses in there. Your job is to meet them, introduce yourself to them as a local business owner, as a consumer, build a relationship. Those go on your candidate list, your possibilities list, right? Get in the habit of constantly adding to this list. You'll have an endless chain of leads that you'll never run out of, okay? So again, we talked about having at least 20 candidates on a list. This week, we're going to research 10 and contact 10 and make sure that you announce your results on the WebCenter Owner Support Group. Any challenges that you might have, because we want to work through this with you, want to hold you accountable, and we also want to coach you and mentor you to success. So with that being said, we're going to call it a happy week 2. Make sure that you go out and make it happen.